Jordanians with Europeans archaeologists. You know archaeologists? Yes. They started a searching excavation in this area, and they found out down there five churches remains dating to 1,500 years ago. 1,500 years ago means Byzantine or Byzantine period. Okay? Why five? That's were built over each the other. And in the same site but not in the same time. What happened? That the church's bodies all faced one main problem, which the River Jordan floods. Yeah, before the river used to be a strong river. Okay? The church number one and the church number two both were built by use pillars and arches. And the archaeologists say that's to keep it high enough from the water level, but unfortunately it were destroyed.
It cannot hold.
Yes. Then they rebuilt the third one. It was a big one. It was decorated in mosaics, and marble. And you're going to see that later. But in the floods time, the third church, unfortunately, was destroyed. Then that's what happened to the church number 4 and then the church number 5. And really, that's the questions which the archaeologists faced. Why the Byzantines, which we know about them, they were a good builders, a good engineers. Why they insisted to rebuild 5 churches in the same spot, in a dangerous area, in a flooding zone? Why to have churches, in an area need no churches? Because churches were built in villages or in settlements, not in the desert or in the wilderness. Why to decorate this churches exactly in marble? We have many Byzantine churches in Jordan, but not all of it were decorated by marble. Why? Because we have no marble in the Middle East. The marble which you're going to see, they brought it from Italy, from Europe, all the way just for this site. These questions guide the archaeologists to search on the Byzantine period, looking for the significance of this piece, of this site. Do you know pilgrims? Holy Land visitors. They came from Europe to Turkey, to Syria, to Jordan, to the Holy Land, and then the way back. On their way back, they described the Holy Land. They wrote about the Holy Land. Some of them, we call them here in the Middle East مستشرقين in Arabic, or Orientalists, or historians. Theodosius Greece, Antoninus of Piacenza, Italian, Arculfus Bordeaux, French, Sir Willibald, English, Daniel, Russian. What they wrote about this site, 2 of them, they describe it in 5 Roman miles away from the Salt Sea. Salt Sea, it's Dead Sea. And in the site, Piacenza and Arculfus, listen carefully please. They describe Jesus' baptism site, that it has a church, was built in the name of Saint John the Baptist, and they say the church has a marble steps guiding to the River Jordan. Okay? And in the river bank, right where the water, all of them describe the mantle chapel. Chapel? It's a small church.
Yeah.
Mantle mean clothes or a dress, like the Arabic traditional dress, abah. And they say that's the holy site where Jesus Christ took his clothes off before doing the baptism in the River Jordan. Today the archaeologists say this is the original steps which were described 1,500 years ago. When I say original, please, I mean the first 2 steps, and then next up to the right, you're going to see a short distance between the original site and the restoration site. You see that? In the top steps up there, there's 2 only original. Look carefully to the steps, you see that it's guiding from a big site to a small site, yes? A big site, that's where the church's bodies, where they were praying before, okay? The small site where the water or where the 4 foundations, this is the mantle chapel or the site of the clothes. everything which was described, it was found. The only problem which we face today, that this site have no what?
Water?
Yes, no Jordan. Not only water, no river Jordan. We all know that Jesus was baptized in
The river.
the river Jordan, and the historians say, or the pilgrims say, the steps were built to guide into the river Jordan. Today there is 60 meters between this site and the river, and that's what you have to know. In Jesus' time, the river not the same river which you visited today. The problem is on the river, not on the site. Okay? Yani people long time ago, they built their churches up there, but they created the steps. Why? To go to the river. Yeah, and this steps idea was built just to guide the people into the river. Yes, they were praying up there, but the baptism used to be here. What's happened? That's the river shrank. And that's not long time ago. That's only from 40 years ago. And people could remember the river Jordan, or you can search that in YouTube. You're gonna see how big was the river before 1967.
Ah,
The problem only when Israel occupied Golan Heights, they all start to stop the water because the water here it's very few, fresh water. Okay. To make this idea more easy for you, could you just follow me, please, for 1 minute? This is a new map, please, a new map, okay? Just the archaeologists created to show you how was the site on the site time, okay? Where we are here, okay? We are here. On this map, you're gonna read names with times. This is the historians. يعني Theodosius, Epibanus, Arculfus, Piacenza, and Daniel. From their description, this site means up there, okay? And this is the scaliate or the steps, which was built to be beside the river, guiding to 1, 2, 3, 4 with no arch today. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Jordan used to be in between these 4 foundations. Yani, pray here, prepare yourself, then follow the steps down to the water. This site, as I told you, used to be active or have a water only only 40 years ago. What happened when Israel really occupied Golan Heights? To understand the idea very well, Israel occupied West Bank. Why? What's the puzzle behind West Bank? In their mind, it's their land. You see, they have an excuse that they say that's the God gave it for us. Okay, why they occupied Golan Heights? It's not a holy land. Golan Heights is not a holy land. They occupied it because it means 30% of the Middle East fresh water. When they stopped the water up in the north, they created a problem in the south. Like what? Like no enough water come to feed Jesus' baptism site. Like there's not enough farming here on the south. Many farmers, they left their farms. And there's one more problem, which the Dead Sea. You know Dead Sea? Dead Sea, there's no Dead Sea within 80 years. 80 years, there's no Dead Sea. It's shrinking. Why? Because there's not enough water coming from the north to feed the south. You get it?
Yeah.
That's why Jesus' baptism site nearby the river today, part of the river until 1967. You get it? Jesus was baptized right here, and that's to guide the early Christians to rebuild this church 5 times. This site was visited by 3 Vatican's popes, John Paul, Benedict, and Francis. And this site was declared by 12 Christian denominations from 14 as the right site where Saint John the Baptist baptized Jesus. Okay, please finish your photos because it's not part of our way back.